So the Musée du Quai Branly gave him carte blanche. They said to him, you can bring whoever you want, voices from across Africa, and he called me, saying, so Kareyce, how do you feel about coming and doing this with me? So I said thank you, and that's why I'm here today, and I'm very happy about it. I owe a lot to this great man.
I'm delighted you're here.
The great man in question is Cameroonian artist Blick Bassy. To mark the opening of its new exhibition, On the Road to Chiefdoms of Cameroon, Paris's Musée du Quai Branly gave him free rein to invite a group of musicians to put on a concert. His choice? 3 women who, for him, represent the contemporary African new wave. And fashion is an important part of it.
I use fashion to express my desire to escape the ordinary, to become the person I want to be through the sartorial choices I make, which is actually quite a complex idea when you think. That's what I want, and that's what I love. It's completely abstract and complex in the sense that we're predisposed to like what we like, or rather, what we think we like. Actually, we like things because we were educated in a specific way. How do we free ourselves from that when we're conditioned through all those influences around us that seem determined to set us on a certain path? The fact that I wear nail varnish, that I dress in a certain way, people often bring me up on it. They ask me, but why are you wearing that? For me, though, it's these things that help me define my vision, which is all about asking myself how I can create a sort of corridor of freedom that I can advance along a little more each day. And that's very difficult when you live in a society where people are so homogenous.
The beret, for example?
Sometimes I see myself as a sort of maquisard or resistance leader. Back in the day in Cameroon, these maquisards were people who fought for love and freedom, for the emancipation of women, for the right to live together in peace. And those people were considered bandits because they were fighting against the capitalist system. But in reality, in Cameroon, those members of the maquisard resistance were actually fighting for the common good so that we could live as free men and women.
For Franco-Senegalese singer, dancer and designer Poundo, the mission is simple: to decompartmentalize the arts. Her costumes are made by creators committed to ethical fashion, always in keeping with an Afro-futurist aesthetic.
My songs tell my story, but they also tell the story of women more generally. It's about encouraging women and encouraging the younger generation. It's about helping people open their eyes, fulfilling our potential. I really put an emphasis on education. I speak about education a lot, the importance of education. All of that goes into my work, and it's true that I do speak about women a lot.
Ami Yerewolo has made a name for herself in the male-dominated world of Malian rap. Her stage outfit is inspired by Bambara culture.
Rap was a means of expression to me, not just for speaking about problems in our society, but also for speaking about all sorts of things that society imposes on women and young girls. Through my music, I try to talk about all sorts of things, calling out things that aren't fair, and reassessing others. It really speaks to Malian society, and also Africa more generally.
What's more difficult for you today?
We're all different with different qualities. Every person has the right to believe in themselves and to get hold of whatever they need to arrive at that point. Sometimes things get in the way of our ability to fulfill our dreams, because all too often we're seen in terms of our sex, men or women, and I think that in the 21st century, that sort of idea is no longer relevant. It should be about freedom and passion, and about getting other people on board.
These decorations made of dried fruit and woven raffia that Kareyce Fotso ties to her ankles have traditionally been worn only by men, part of the Cameroonian Coup-Gan warrior dance, but no longer.
La scène The stage is body language, dress language. Why and how did you choose this outfit?
This fabric is called ndop. It's an ancestral hand-woven fabric made out of wool. For me, it represents a link to the earth. It reminds me where I come from. Today I'm at the Musée du Quai Branly, but I come from somewhere else. Wherever I go, I take my culture and my uniqueness with me, so that people can see that, beyond borders. And despite the modern world being a village of sorts, it's a village that's full of diversity. And it's through all these different colors that we can find a sort of balance, a universal language.
At the end of her concert, Kareyce Fotso invites Blick Bassy to join her on stage. Two artists from two different Cameroonian tribes, each celebrating the power of diversity in all its forms.
France 24. Every art form.
Liberté, égalité, actualité.